I'm going to go ahead and go over the DartConnect logins and how we're going to get into our leagues and groups today. As you can see, I logged in here already. I used a team login, which is the Jericho Outdoors login. If you logged in with your own personal account, you're going to see your name being displayed there instead of your team name. I just figured it was easier to have team logins so that all of the recaps would go into the team email addresses, which I'm also setting up. So once you log in, the first thing that you're always going to want to do, at least until week 3, is you're going to want to do your check for updates. Check for updates is going to update the DartConnect program, but it will also help to pull the current rosters, if I understand that correctly. So after week 3, there really shouldn't be any additions or anything like that, but it's always a good idea to actually do the check for updates. Now when you do, your screen is going to kind of reload like this. So once that's been done, you're going to just go into leagues and groups. In here you should see essentially just the match that you're going to be playing for the night. Don't actually have that in here right now, but what we have is the option to play a practice match. So the reason I don't actually have a match in here is because we're not in the full league mode yet. We don't have schedules set up or anything like that. Once we go into play a practice match, it's going to load all of our normal games. You can see we have the 601 double in, double out triples. That just means that there's 3 people on each side. We have 2 of those. We have our 501 single in, double out doubles, which again means that there's only 2 players per side. We have 3 of those matches. Then we have our doubles cricket. So again, 2 people per side in cricket. Number 6 is set up to be the 2-point cricket. When we go to continue on that, you can see it is a best of 3 legs. That's all that really means. Best 2 out of 3. When we go back, we can go into the game number 7 is only play 1 leg. So again, just a best of 1, I guess would be the way to put it. After our crickets, we have our 6 singles matches. Now, taking a look at that, they are best of 3 legs. It's set up for the starting leg. The away team starts for this particular match, which is round 9, so it would be the first of the singles matches, I believe. I think I got that right. Yep. After that, it's going to be bowl start. So essentially you shoot for bowl, and then you're going to be able to select who starts. That's all that's going on there. So we're going to go back. Because I logged in as Jericho Outdoors, it automatically assigned me that. Over here on the other side, it's saying that I'm going to play the Ridiculous 6. Now, this is just a practice match. I don't know why it does not allow us to select every single person that is in the league. They just automatically assign a random team to play against. Not something I'm real fond of, because I didn't like the idea of having to select somebody who's not actually there. However, our guy over at DartConnect tells me that none of this is ever going to be saved, so it really doesn't matter who we are, who we're playing against. It just really doesn't matter at all. To kind of get into things, we're going to start out with the double in, double out triples, and I'll just show you how we're going to proceed from there. So we hit continue. We verify player format triples, so there's 3 people per side. The game, or games 601 double in, double out. We're playing 1 leg, and the away team starts. So we're going to go to start set. Now, as you can see, we actually have some people in here, preloaded, and these are people that I have already put in for the teams. As you can see, I do have Jericho Outdoors and I do have Ridiculous 6. Now, I put those in there just for temporary space holders, more or less. Those are not going to be there come the beginning of the season. So let's say we're going to go ahead and myself and Rolly LaFlamme are going to play against Ron Dumont and his son, Ron Dumont Jr. That's right, it is triples, so we're going to throw in one other person. I'm going to throw in Paul Vianes Jr. and let's go with the team captain, Dave Cryans. So from here, you have 2 start games. It really doesn't matter which one you go with. Just hit start the game. Now it's going to ask you for the order of throw. So on the sheets that we normally fill out, the triplicates, it will have the order of throw based on there. You literally select the exact same thing that you had before. So I'm going to start, and then Rolly's going to go second. You notice that it disappears because it automatically figured out that the one that wasn't selected is going to be last. I'll just do Dave and Ron. So now you're going to notice at the top of the screen there's 2 names. Those are the starting players. You can see Dave Cryans, or Dave C, is in red. That means that he is starting. Now you can also see it says double in, and that's exactly what we need to do. So let's say Dave throws his first 3 darts and he gets in on the first dart, so he gets a double 16. There's numerous ways you can score that. You can do 16 times 2 to indicate it's a double. You really don't need to. You can also just do 32. Now, let's say that he also ended up scoring 2 single 20s. You can then add a 20, add another 20, and then you would hit enter to submit the score. Or you can also do, well, he got 2 20s, so 20 times 2. Again, you'll notice it's automatically updating his score over on the right hand side. It really doesn't matter how you do that. You could also already know that, well, okay, he got 32 and 40, which is going to be 72, so you could type in the 72. Again, all of these methods work just fine. You don't need to stress about how you're doing the scoring. You can add every single dart. You can add every single value, whatever it may be. So he got his 72. You can see it's a higher score, so it kind of threw up a little praise and said, oh my god, you got a 72 in. Generally, that's only going to happen when you get 95 or above. However, when it comes to ins, it doesn't matter. You can literally get a 2, and it will do it. That's all that there is to that. So now we've got Ron Dumont up. We're going to go ahead and say he threw a 100. Okay, so a triple 20 and 2 single 20s. Now you can do that. You can do 20 times 3 plus 20 plus 20. As you can see, it calculates that it's 100. You can also do, we know that a triple 20 is 60 plus 20 plus 20. Again, comes up with a 100. The other nice thing about DartConnect, it's a little trickier to use this because you have to be straight on these things, otherwise you will accidentally hit the wrong one. But you can come over here, you can have any of these shortcut keys. You got a 26, a 40, 41, 43. On the other side, 45, 60, 81, 85. Down below you have 100, 140, and the big 180. So he threw a 100 in this case, and so I'm just going to tap 100. Comes up saying ton, hey, great job, Ron. Automatically, when using those shortcut keys, it automatically goes over to the other side. If you're typing in a value, you have to hit the enter button, which turns to a miss until something is actually pressed. So in this case here, I'm just going to say, Rolly, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pick on you, bud, here. I'm I'm just going to say he missed. So just to show what it does, what it looks like, you basically get a 0 with a line through it. That indicates a miss. Now we've got Ronnie Dumont Jr. up. Say he threw a 60. So 3 single 20s. Just going to type it in as 60. And I hit the enter button. Now that brings it over to the other side. So when you're about to start your throw, it is very important that you look up and you make sure that your name is up there and that it's in red. As you can see over on the other side, right now it just says Ridiculous 6. It does not tell you who is due up next. It only seems to do that on your first round when you first start the game. Paul, we're going to go ahead and give him just a 140. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of get through this fairly quickly. So I'm going to put in some really high numbers here. So Dave got a 180. Me, well, I'll just do a 75. Ron Dumont, yeah, he threw another 180. Rolly, in this case here, I picked on him already, so we'll give him a 180. Now, Ronnie Dumont Jr. is up next. He's got a 9. Over here, you can see there's 3 little dart icons. So if he puts the game out, you can notice that the 1 is grayed out, and the reason for that is you cannot possibly end the game with a 9 with a single dart. You have to set that up. You have to either go 1 double 4 or whatever it may be. So in this case, you can actually, let's say he did put the game out, let's say it took 2 darts. You can just hit the number 2, or you could type 9 and then enter. When you do, it is still going to ask, you'll confirm that Ronnie won. You can see 0 to 1. We're going to confirm it. Now it asks you what was the winning dart. So let's say he did the 1 double 4. That would be second dart. Hit that. Now you can see Jericho 0, Ridiculous 6, 1. Going to continue. This is automatically trying to save any information that you input. Now I don't know yet how this is going to work when we have the 2 tablets. I don't know if you're still going to see this match here, or if it's going to say that it's in process, or how that actually works at this point. So you are able to, unfortunately, skip around and select whatever game you need to. Obviously, in playoffs, we're not going to do that. We have to play in order. That being said, I strongly encourage the exact same thing during regular league play. So we're going to just assume that, the second game is being played on the other tablet. So now we're going to go over to the 501. We're going to play those. For the sake of keeping this video a little bit shorter, I'm actually going to go over to the doubles cricket. I don't want to do the 2-point cricket. It's just going to take too long for this. So we're going to go ahead and go to number 7. You can see away has the bull option. So what that means is the away team, in this case the Ridiculous 6, they have the option to shoot at the bull first or to tell the home team to shoot. So again, 1 leg, we're playing cricket. It's doubles, so it's 2 people per side. We're going to go ahead and do start set. Now, one thing I have noticed is that it does seem to allow us to choose more than the number of people that should be there. So it says doubles, and just for the sake of trying it out here, Mike, myself, and Paul. As you can see, it allowed all 3. I don't think we can start the game this way. Okay, so it errors out, says there's too many players. So we're going to hit OK, and it brings us right back to where we actually have to select everybody again. So if you do that, and you're like, oops, I didn't mean to hit Mike, all you do is tap him again. It removes him from the list. So we're going to go with these guys, and we're just going to bowl up. All right, so coin toss, we really should not be playing with that. However you can. it really isn't going to matter anything. All it does is it generates a random head or tails. So in some cases, the starting may be decided by a coin toss, but it's not going to be in our league. So essentially what's going to happen is the away team in this case has the option for bull. Both sides shoot at bull. Whoever wins, you're going to click on who it is. In this case, we're going to say AJ hit a double bull and I completely missed. So we're going to go with away team starting. And again, it asks you the order of throw. So in this case here, I'm going to go myself first and AJ first. Just a quick overview here. You probably already noticed the D, the 20, and then the T. Essentially what this means is doubles, triples, and singles. If a player has 3 singles of any number, do not hit triple. Triple is reserved for triples only. That being said, DartConnect, the way it keeps stats, if you hit a triple in place of a single, it does affect the stats. So again, I'm just going to reiterate, do not use the triple or the double button unless they have a double or a triple. That being said, if AJ got up and he threw 5 20s, so a triple 20 and 2 singles, you cannot do 5 singles. Once you try to do a 4th one, it says you've already recorded 3 darts. Use the double or triple buttons to record double and triple shots, and then use the undo button to correct this turn. So we're going to go okay, and alright, so he got 2 singles and a triple. So now down here at the bottom, you can see 20, 20. Now I'm going to do the triple, so T20, which is triple 20. And you can see over by his 20s, there's a 5 there, and that just means that he hit 5 marks. Mark being any number that can be used. So that's going to be the end of his turn. It is always very important to hit enter. Comes up saying 5 hit. That would also be considered a round of 5. Now it's over to my turn, and again, I have no problem picking on myself here, so I'm going to go ahead and say I completely missed everything. Didn't have the focus I needed to, so I have to make sure, or in this case, the scorekeeper has to make sure that they hit the miss button. Otherwise, it will completely mess everybody up. So that is why I cannot stress hard enough, when you're about to throw, make sure your name is in red. So we're going to go ahead and miss. Now you can see Jericho Outdoors is in gray, so we are not shooting. Over on the left-hand side, I'm not sure if you can see the mouse circling it or not. That is a miss icon. All that means. So now Jeff Bushway is up, and you know what? I'm going to give him a round of 9. So he got a triple 19, triple 18, and a triple 17. As you can see, you got the 3s indicating that he hit 3 of that number. Down at the bottom, triple 9, triple 8, triple 7. So now we're going to hit enter, and round of 9 comes up. At the very bottom, you can also see that there is a minus 40 right now and an arrow pointing to the left-hand side. So that means that the team on the left-hand side is down 40 points. Up at the top, underneath where it says Ridiculous 6, you can see they've scored 40 points. And then underneath Paul, there's 0 points. You can also see in between the two, the match score currently sits at 0 to 1. So the Ridiculous 6 have 1 point in this case. Jericho Outdoors has none. So now we're going to say Paul gets up and he also throws a round of 9, but he does it all on the 16s. So 3, 6, 9 of them. First 3 close the 16s, and the rest of that is for points. Now we're going to enter. He again get a round of 9. And now you can see Jericho Outdoors has 96 points and Ridiculous 6 has 40. So down at the bottom, the Ridiculous 6 now know, assuming they didn't already do the math, that they're 56 points behind. So their best option is to, at this point, go for the triple 20, because obviously it's 60 points. So they're going to get ahead in points. And now AJ is going to also close out our 16s and 15s. Enter. You got a round of 9. It automatically updates that Jericho Outdoors is now 4 points behind. At this point, again, I can submit a miss, or I can, do whatever I'm going to do. However, I also want to point out that, again, over on the right-hand side, because that was the last score entered, you can see there were 3 15s, 3 16s, and 3 20s. Now, let's say we made a mistake and his triple 16 was actually a single. I'm going to encourage people to only go back one round in the cricket. So right before my throw, I say, hey, wait a minute, he only had a single 16. And, he agrees and the scorekeeper agrees, so we're going to go and use the back button. Now, this allows us to completely undo the turn. There's no real quick, easy way to just undo that 16, so we're going to have to remember he had a triple 20, a triple 15, and a single 16. So we're going to undo this, triple 20, triple 15, and single 16. So now instead of it being a round of 9, it's going to be a round of 7. So we're going to enter that, and it automatically updates everything. We can go back and we can edit other turns. Here's the problem with doing so. I'm going to go and edit other turns. Now it shows you every single turn. Well, hey, wait a minute. On this round where I threw, I didn't miss everything. I actually closed my 20s. Okay, that's an awful long way to remember. So are we really going to try and remember back 4 turns? I'm going to strongly recommend that we don't do it. Only correct the previous turn at most. But we can definitely go in here. We edit the selected turn. Instead of having a miss, I close my 20s with 3 of them. Going to go to enter. Now you can see it changed over here, and we're going to go back to the game. So that only edited that one turn. In doing so, it completely changed the outcome down at the bottom, because when I did this, it took away AJ's triple 20 because our 20s were closed. So it removed 60 points. This is just going to cause a massive headache, and once again, I'm going to recommend that we only change previous turns. Because now I'm actually going to have to go back into here, and I'm going to have to re-add his triple 20. It just makes it a big mess, and we should be paying attention anyway. And I, again, only recommend we go back and just undo the previous turn if need be. Otherwise, if it's something beyond that, just let it slide. It's not a big deal. So moving forward, I end up throwing, let's say, 1 bull. Jeff gets up, hits a double and a single. Enter 3 bulls. Paul throws, 16 or triple 16. And now AJ got up. He hit a double 16 and a triple 20 again. So now it automatically says AJ won, 0-1. We're going to confirm that. What was his winning dart? Let's say he did it in 2 darts. Again, kind of gives a recap. We're going to hit continue. automatically saves, and as you can see, match complete, 0 to 1. Down in our doubles cricket, 0 to 1. So at the very top, it's automatically updating. Ridiculous 6 is up 2 to nothing over Jericho Outdoors. And I'm going to end this for now and maybe come back with a part 2.